3.5 knots in 3.5 knots of wind. Thank you very much.
500 mil jsme ujechali.
500 mil, 500 mil.
Wow.
Yes.
2 miles to 1,000.
Taste it. It's salty, so we're sinking. Robertko, we're trying to figure out how to catch up the wind that's escaping us. Check it out, I'm gonna switch to the front. So we're here, and we're in the middle of the calm, right? And the problem is, we were supposed to be here, so that would be catching the wind. That's doing what? Go forward.
Come.
It's going north, which is not beautiful at all, because it keeps escaping us. The more we go north, the more that thing goes north as well.
So we're too slow.
We're too slow.
So what are we doing? I guess because there is no load that's gonna screw up our plans later, we just decided to bob around and just get through this calm, since the boat is amazing and it does, what, knots in 3 knots of wind? I kid you not. This is it. 3.5 knots in 3.5 knots of wind. Thank you very much. We can do that.
So we're perfect sailors.
So we're just gonna keep going. We use all the 100% of the wind we get. In the meantime, Ania has run out of baguettes, so she decided to create what? Oatmeal?
Oatmeal.
Oh, wait, wrong.
Fruits.
With fruits. All right. Where'd you get the fruits? From the orchard. Our private orchard. All right. Wow, what a beautiful breakfast. All right, let's have it. There's no space for the generator there. It's too small. Ta-da! I'm making a new end so that we don't have to actually tie the bow line every time. Instead, we're gonna have a shackle over here. So I need to sew it so it doesn't come apart, because it's extremely resistant to going this way. But when you start doing this, it might come out. So the little thread prevents it from coming out from each other.
Switch!
Oh, Heniek!
Despite of all the efforts, the wind was so light that we only barely made over 100 miles today.
Okay, fair enough. The sound you're hearing is the engine. We gave up. But as you see, there really is no wind.
We're too slow.
How's dining in the middle of the ocean?
Ciekawy, że nie żal go.
How's dining in the middle of the ocean?
Despite of expanding calm and very light winds, we still made reasonable progress. That's about 500 miles in just over 4 days.
Alright guys, day 5.
500 mil jsme ujechali.
500 mil!
500 mil.
500 miles, we made it.
Woo! Woo!
We have 1/10 out of the way. Now we only have 4,500 miles left.
Yes!
Yay!
For the first time, we're so far north that things got a little bit chillier than in tropics, and we actually have dew on our deck. We're using this opportunity to clean the solar panels without wasting our precious fresh water. Jak tam mamy jakiś wiatr? Zero kompletne, masakra. Już patrzyłem na wodę, myślałem, że coś kompletne, absolutne zero. Dobra, jest 5 w plecy. Alright, we have a new office here.
Today is the working day.
Today is the working day. Fajne biuro?
Romantyczne, to jest.
Romantyczne!
To jest mój atlantycki headquarters.
Atlantyckie biuro. Today for breakfast is pain and terror. He doesn't get it. Pain and terror. If you'd like some pain and terror, you should visit San Martin and its bakery. You can have some pain and terror for breakfast. Enjoy. Things are looking a lot better. We were chasing the wind yesterday, all day yesterday until the morning. So we probably clocked about 20 hours on the engine, I have to admit. Even though everybody is a sailor here and we really wanted to make it all the way to Poland without using the engine, but we decided that the that the calm was about to expand in the forecast, meaning we would keep chasing the winds that would keep moving north. So it actually paid to catch up. And now we have 6 knots of wind, and we're doing 6 knots with a spinnaker. Things are looking really good. So we are here. This is Bermuda. This is Bermuda. We are here. Okay. And we're trying to go just about this way. Azores is right around here now. You see, we are just on the cusp of between the calm and the wind. As we finally make this turn over here with the weather, we'll basically try to go about this course, but then move a bit, drift a bit south or a bit north, depending on what's coming behind us and how is that shaping up. That's the strategy for the next few days. I was gonna take a shower, but then I got hot. I was gonna take a shower, but then I got hot. Then I forgot to turn on the water, now I'm dirty. And you know why? Because I got hot. Because I got hot. Because I got hot.
Of course, as you can imagine, nobody got high. But being in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by the elements, relying on your own intellect, experience, and preparation is indeed intoxicating. There is no better meditation than simply focusing on all the things that you can influence that are pretty much within your reach, physically speaking.
It's totally magic being out here in the middle of all this ocean, knowing that it's at least 1,000 miles to the nearest civilization. Absolutely amazing. Makes you feel so small on one hand, on the other hand, kind of one with everything. The feeling is amazing. It's hard to describe anything on inland life that would give you this much. Day 6, guys. We've reached over 30 degrees north, so we finally got some wind. But look at this, we're a week into it, less than a week into it, and look how small the veggie and fruit hammock got. So there's a lot of things that are already missing, and one notable thing that just ended, that just finished, is the pain and terror last baguette. This is the very last of the baguettes that we got from St. Martin. Day 6, we have finally caught up on the wind, got out of the calm yesterday, and now we're having pretty much consistent 10 knots at least. It only should be increasing. Now the strategy changes. We're starting to turn east and now trying to choose our position. How far north do we want to be, or south, depending on what sort of weather do we want to experience from the low that's coming up behind us.
And be a little bit faster.
Yeah, and we're gonna try to be faster. In the meantime, with some help from PredictWind, we finally figured out how to get around the problem of pulling large routing files via satellite, and instead of just going directly from the application, PredictWind application, we sent email requests and received all the files by email. So it's looking like we're basically pulling it right now. And the next thing we're gonna do is try to transport it over to this main computer and load it up. The problem with a normal Samsung tablet and Samsung phone is that it doesn't allow you to access those files, and there's no way to save them from the mail application. So trying to get around that one right now. We'll see what happens. So now that we caught up on the wind on this band and we're gonna try to remain in it, the next task is to avoid, if you look at the big picture, is to avoid meeting some sort of bad low. So let me just go on the timeline. There's the timeline, and we're gonna start moving. If you see, there's a front here coming over, and then on the back end of it there's a low, this one, and unfortunately we're not going to be as far as this. We're going to be more like here, so we have to watch for this wind. So we have to position ourselves somewhere not too far north so it's not too windy, and not too far south, so it's not too light. This map is a Mercator map, so it's a projection. It's as if you took the globe and actually flattened it. So the shortest route from point A to B is not a straight line. It is actually an arc bent to the north in the northern hemisphere and bent to the south in the southern hemisphere. Basically bent towards the closest pole. All right, so we caught up on the wind. We finally got nice, clean 12 knots, 13 sometimes even. We're doing 7, sometimes even 8. With the there you go, there it is, our big nuclear weapon. And it's getting, we're getting pretty far north. It's already 31 degrees north, and this morning it was quite chilly. So Ania has been gathering all the warm linens and airing them out because we're getting them ready. For supposedly in 2 weeks we're supposed to be into some areas where there's going to be only 10 degrees Celsius. So yeah, I'm not even trying to imagine that. I haven't been to 10 degrees Celsius in what? Almost 2 years. Just putting some things back in order, and actually a bit of a not totally a surprise, but there's some water in here. I know where it's coming from, but in case if you have water that you cannot account for, you take a dip in it, taste it, it's salty, so we're sinking. No, I'm just kidding. We have a small leak from under our data sensor that when the boat's moving it's leaking faster. So this is the effect of 3 days of moving around. So now I have to clean it up a bit. It's okay. Okay guys, so it seems like we discovered the reason for the water in the bilge. I laid down the paper, all that stuff to look for a leak and everything, and it turned out that when I took that everything was dry, but the paddle was getting bigger and bigger over here. So I took out the bilge pump and just stuffed it into a bucket, and check it out. And we have water over here. So this is obvious. So now what's leaking most likely is the check valve over here. And it wasn't leaking before because we had really nice weather and there was no water at that level. Now that we have some waves, there's actually waves going in and out of the hose, so we're gonna have to change that. Good news is I went to the store and I found this. So as it turns out, the check valve that we have, even though it's new, it's still leaking. I'm not sure if it's made for this kind of job, but in any case, I came up with an idea to just make this an extension and make the hose go up so that the water cannot go all the way up above the water line, and that's it. That'll do the job, I think. I'm pretty sure it's impossible for it to not work. So it's ready. You see? Now the water has to go all the way up above the water level in order to even go through here, and it has 2 check valves on the way, so if this leaks, I give up. Day 6. How was day 6?
Day 7.
No, this is day 6. Day 7 started an hour ago.
Oh. Well, day 6 was amazing.
End of day 6, beginning of day 7. Day 7. How do you put a new garbage bag in? Cool. Ta-da! Zajebiste. Okay, so garbage is a big thing. We are on our 2nd bag, so if we multiply it by the next 4 weeks, we should be with 10 bags on board. For our female fans, we have discovered a serious
icebreaker on board.
One of the peculiarities of sailing, finally sailing east and sailing along the line east-west is that you have to change your time zone. So you basically create your own time zone. We have now decided to add 1 hour to to our existing time, which means lose 1 hour on the way east. We were first gonna just calculate and do it every 10 degrees or 15 degrees or something like that. But now it turns out, because we had 6 hours to lose between Caribbean and Poland, but now it turns out that we're just gonna go by what feels right according to when the sun rises and sets. Since the sun is starting to rise before 5 a.m., I think it's time to change the time. So now we're gonna go from 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the morning. See, I just woke up. Day 7. Morning routine is to change the appearance of the boat a little bit. You know, the little exterior renovation. So we dropped the mainsail, we dropped the Genoa, and now we're setting up the spinnaker. We have a chance of closing day 7 the whole week with the first 1,000 miles. We're not very far from it. If anything, it's going to be a little bit of plus minus. But things are good, because it should be, speed-wise at least, downhill from here. Because the first week was, as you know, the whole bunch of comms and negotiating the highs and whatnot south of Bermuda. Now we're out of it. We're running the spinnaker. It's the perfect weapon for this situation. It's about 15 knots, so we got about 5 knots to spare. About 20 knots is maximum what I want to carry, where I want to carry the spinnaker. Not because it doesn't want to stay up, because it is close to suicidal trying to take it down at this wind speed. So that's what we have to watch for. And so right now we turned it a little bit more east than north. We're still going north somewhat, but a bit more east. And now it's the big chess game with the lows that are coming behind in a rearview mirror. So that's the big thing. So now we're just going to negotiate left or right, a bit more north or a bit more south, or more wind to the north or less wind to the south, but not too far south to hit any kind of a high or a calm, and not too far north in order to actually cross to be north of any low center, because that would be disastrous. That would mean really strong winds on the nose. We don't want that. So we're going to stay on the south side of all the lows, of all the centers. That's it for the moment. So what is it?
Yeah.
2 miles to
So
1,000. 2 miles to 1,000.
It means it's possible to do it.
To do what?
1,000.
Then it's possible to do 5,000.
Guys, maybe around the world.
Maybe. You're cooking.
Very bad idea.
Oftentimes you have to make a change, conservative change in the choice of your routing or the equipment or the sails, something that makes the way more safer. Sometimes it seems like it's safer beyond what you would have to do in order to keep things reasonably safe, right? The wind is still just fine for this big spinnaker, 270 square meters or almost 3,000 square feet. And we could still carry it up to 5+ more knots of true wind. However, because of the fact the night is falling, is upon us, and we as a crew, and me as a captain for a long time, haven't doused this monster, this spinnaker, we decided that it would be the safest, most reasonable course of action to take it down before the night, in case there's more wind during the night, which is a possibility actually. Ready? Ready? Dobra robota! My dear gentlemen, the spinnaker dowsing has gone extremely perfect. I had only... What is that doing here? I was supposed to be with a sheet. Sheet! Oh, sheet!
Oh, shit!
Okay, so that was supposed to be with a sheet. So anyway, I only had 3 comments, and there's no names attached to it. Be careful not to let halyard go from your hand.
Over.
Until it's tied. Second, if there is anything tied like this on the end of a sheet or a halyard, don't let it go so it doesn't hit the solar panels or anything else, because this will take out the solar panel. All right. I don't know what the third thing was. The third thing was, I just wanted to say that you guys did it really well. I've never. Anybody's got any ideas, comments, recommendations for the next time? There's the quiet. Nothing like a constructive criticism. Thank you very much. This is Polly on 6-7. How do you read? What are the chances of meeting another Neil mid-ocean? What are the chances of meeting another boat mid-ocean? Are you from Germany by any chance? Over. Okay, if you think you cannot meet anybody on the ocean, just think again.
Segredos vêm da floresta de luz, Pachamama, Pachamama. Abre a consciência dos seus filhos a crescer.